Somebody said, let Eric go and interview President Muhammadu Buhari. He will be the easiest person to interview. He doesn't wear boxing gloves. He talks in soft tone. And if he's not sure what you mean, he looks at you, and that itself is a reply. But I watched an interview with a former president, and I believe that many of us here watch it, even the man who reviewed this book didn't refer to it. When the host of Hard Talk, that popular BBC host, he asked a Nigerian president, I have enough trouble right now, so I will add to the trouble, and so I will mention no name, but we can know the person. He knows the person, he has associated with the person, he's been groomed under the person, and he's still being overseen by the person. And they asked him 2 questions I found interesting, different interviews. The man started by giving lectures as he has always done. He has all the answers, only the rest of us don't know the answers. And he said the problem of Africa is lack of population control. Our population is growing at the average of 3% or more, and yet the average economy is growing far less than that. And that is why poverty will remain endemic. So, in terms of looking at holistic approach to the African poverty situation, we cannot but focus on the question of population growth. And then this fearless, professional British BBC Hard Talk host asked him, since you were the president of Africa's most populous nation, how many did you contribute to this population? How many children do you have? And how many wives have you married, whether now or before, or all your life? I thought for me that was courageous. That leaders should not preach what they are not doing. You can't be on record as having so many wives, both registered and unregistered, several children, some in dispute, and yet you go to the Queensland and lecture about population. You ought to have married 1 wife and maybe 2 children, and then use yourself as example. But if you are part of those who help to create the problem, and therefore become role model for the younger ones, there is a problem. I thought that a Nigerian editor should find courage to do a thing like that, to say what you are saying you are not doing. The second one was, I think on that same Hard Talk, they had this same big man, very, very big man. He writes letters a lot. Even though there are no post office, I don't know where they are delivered. And then they asked him, and he spoke, he said, but they said your government, there was a lot of corruption in your government. And everybody will testify to that. And he said, did they say I, that is himself, did they say he was corrupt? He said, no, that you superintended over a government that, according to Transparency International, was very corrupt. And you didn't fight it, even though you set up former institutions. He tried to make a distinction between the president and the government. And the man said, but you have a responsibility to enforce law and order. You made those laws. You did not enforce them. For me, talking about courage and professional hazard, that would be, I'm trying to imagine if anybody would have, in this hall, would have asked him such questions, and then he finds his way to his Akpo village to go and sleep as if nothing has happened. But I do agree that asking difficult questions can be a problem, particularly when the answers are not readily available. But the one I sometimes find embarrassing is when a journalist will ask, Mr. Adams, I was in Port Harcourt. Wike said you are a he-goat. So what do you have to say to that? I will say, Wike said I'm a he-goat. You cannot answer the question. Am I a he-goat? We Unfortunately, I have to say we now, very reluctantly, but it is the truth. I have been conscripted into the so-called political people, but I'm a labor man. You are my witness. I was just invited to go to Edo, and then what led to the other, and I'm here. And now Secondus and I have been categorized as politicians, but I'm basically a labor man.
I thought I was coming to just unveil and present the book, the interviews. But the chairman of APC has raised some issues which need to be addressed. And that is why there's a difference. The chairman of APC said it's good for leaders to preach what they practice and not to preach what they don't practice. I remember during the chairman's second term to the governor of Edo State, he came to the villa to thank the then president who is ascribed to have been interviewed. He said, "Thank you for one man, one vote." Today, do we have one man, one vote? So it is very, very. When he had an opportunity to thank a president that said, "One man, one vote," he should have carried it along to make sure that one man, one vote. So preach what you practice. Two, you remember, in their own time, they had what they call Occupy Nigeria. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was sent to jail. Nobody was detained. Nobody disobeyed any court order. Today, are they practicing what they're preaching? So it is very, very important for us to know where we are. And we cannot be deceived by rhetorics. We cannot be deceived by what we are seeing. All of us know we are not progressing. Rather, we are doing what? Progressing. So my brother, my leader, the chairman, Nigeria is witnessing what to preach, and we are not practicing. So as a leader, I want to come back to you. Please tell our people. In fact, even the BBC had talk. That was the first time I heard that a cabinet member will say he does not like money. It's the first time I've heard that a cabinet member will say he does not like money. Who does not like money here? Who does not like money? Without money, can you pay a children's school fees? Chairman, that is what it is. That the media are those responsible. I'm not going to hide it. The truth of the matter is very clear. The truth of the matter is very clear. The role you played before this government came, play the same role now. Play the same role. Why are you not talking again? Why are you not talking? So it's not that I said, you know what I said is correct. Because what you publish about River State is not correct. What you publish is what you are given to publish. I was thinking that my younger brother would have been here. He had left. He said he was going by 12. No. He said what you publish will affect the country. But he does not. He has forgotten that what you say about your state will also affect your state. Can there be Nigeria without states? When you demarcate your own state, will investors come? So why are you not preaching that journalists should not publish negative things about Nigeria? But you will say negative things about your own state. Preach what you want to practice. Like what the keynote addresser said, even though the chairman tried to and bent it. Go and interview the president, they wanted to be the same thing. The chairman tribes have bent it. And I like him. The chairman is a good, in fact, the publicity he gives to his party is very good. And the government. And that's why we should encourage him to continue to be the chairman of his party. I will encourage him. Because the publicity he gives to his party, you know, he comes here, you see the way he has done it. Very, very well. He said labor. I don't want to go into the issue about labor. I don't want to talk about labor. I don't want to talk about labor at all. I don't want to go to labor. I don't want to go to labor. Because if you see the kind of safari he wears now, it's not the same thing that time. It's not the same. Because as I was sitting with him, if you see the kind of safari, no labor man can wear that kind of safari. You don't need to look at faces. Go and interview people. Ask the relevant questions that people that will help the society. Don't ask questions. You know, sometimes they come. They just want to say, we want to make sure that the public know about you. We want to say, we can package you. Don't package anybody. Your business is not to package anybody. Your business is to tell the society simple truth. I know those, even if I do well, they will never write well about me. I'm not worried too. Don't write. You wrote, I will not win, I won. Second choice, I will not win. Somebody knows I won. Very well. Even the Chairman of the Education tried in 2015. Chairman, you tried. But God was not on your side. I don't like to come to Abuja. I don't come to Abuja. I don't. Because those who voted for me are not here. That's why I stay in my state. That's why I stay in my state. That's why I made it difficult for the chairman of ABC not to get 25%. Because I stay there. I don't come here. How many of you have voted in River State? How many of you? So I don't come. Yes, you're in Abuja. Don't come there. Don't come. You're in Abuja. So I am a Rivers person that would love to stay in River State. In fact, the best city for me in this world is River State. The best city anybody can talk about is River State. I'm going back. I will stay here. I will stay here. I'm going back. Because there's nothing interesting me here. Go to River State. You will enjoy yourself. Beautiful fish, all those things. You get it. All this why you are here, you are eating artificial pond fish. I have invited Mr. Chairman to come to River State, even though they don't have water. But as for my brother, I can help them. Give them fresh fish, proper fresh fish. And you see how the whole thing, when he eats our own fish, you will see the difference. It's not the same. It's not the same. That's why he struggled to make sure that they get our state. He said, no, it's not possible. It's not possible.
As the country, have we witnessed improvement from the First Republic to the Second Republic, to the Third Republic, to the Fourth Republic? The answer is with you. From when the then opposition and now the ruling party has come, have we seen any improvement? The answer is also with you. But most importantly, are we free now to speak? Even in the military era, journalists were vibrant and they fought for their rights. And it was tough, even for the military then. But you can see bills going to the assembly, bills submitting to anti-freedom of speech. That one lesson that we must learn today, we are in a free world, free market. By 1960, I believe the Nigerian population was about 50 million people. Today we are talking about 200 million people. Simple data. The country had 4 major functional seaports. Today we have only one functional seaport. How can you talk about free economy? How can you talk about improvement on the economy? And so we need more of these interviews. And we need a vibrant journalism in our country. It is not enough to accuse. It is not enough for propaganda, false. Truth is very tough and challenging. And if you want to begin to cover the truth like light, one day, it will explode.